2nd, 2025. As we all know that only 30 days is left in the written examination of NDA 2nd, 2025. So it is important to stick a plan for this 30 days and implement this plan throughout the journey. That's why I am here to share some tips, because I have already completed my chapter. So I was interested to express my thoughts in front of you. So friends, as we all know that India's written exam is conducted in the two bases. One is basically for mathematics, that is compulsory to qualify, and second one is GAT, that is general aptitude test. So friends, a lot of our students have stress about GAT because they have already studied, and the level of GAT is also around for 10th class, excluding geography and history. So they were not too much focused on the GAT, but our marks can be improved only because when we perform better in the GAT. So GAT session is very important for us, friend. But the way we deal with mathematics is very important. We have to make a strict plan, pre-planned studies to cover the mathematics in these 30 days. So friends, around the mathematics cutoff for India is around 75 marks, that is 25% or 20%. So for 75 marks, we almost correct 30 plus questions. If we correct 30 plus questions, around 30 to 30, 35 to 40, then we definitely crack the written examination cutoff of mathematics, not overall, because overall cutoff is around 300 plus marks. That is enough. It is not enough to score singly in mathematics. So focus on mathematics just to clear the cutoff, and to deal with GAT, we have to make well organized content. We have to focus on class 8, 9, 10 to cover science, and also history geography has a wide range, so we can't totally rely on history geography. Yeah, current affair we can study, but there is no prediction from where the current affair will are. So the main section for GAT is English and science. So if we correct around 35 to 50 questions, almost 30 plus questions in English, and out of 50 questions in science, if we correct 30, then it is around 60 questions. So 60 into 4 is, that is 240, around 250 plus marks. If I get easily in the GAT section just with English and science. So that 250 marks is, I think, enough to clear the cutoff. If we have scored 70 or 80 plus marks in the GAT, the combined marks is around 320 or 330. That is good score, good scores. So my point is that I'm here to discuss plan how to clear the cutoff of mathematics exam, not GAT. So basically, we have to focus on some basic chapters, that is fundamental, and its application comes to almost every chapter. Friends, we have heard from our friend that India is also possible towards the JEE level questions, but that is not true. As correctly explained, that is not definitely true, because JEE is such a vast, for JEE to cover such a vast syllabus, and in India it isn't required to cover vast syllabus. Basically, those who are saying that the paper is going to watch JEE level is not aware, because they were half aware. In India, in the recent few years, from 2 or 3 years, India also interested to ask question from combined chapter, like that it combined complex and math determinants to make a single question. So that question is simply from JEE levels, and that is not attempted by that student who have studied math determinant and paper complex. So we have to first focus on some basic chapters that is important. That is quadratic equations, complex number, and linear inequalities. This may be because method जो कि वो काफ़ी important है. That 3 chapter is fundamental chapter, and make this target to complete this 3 chapter within 2 days, because this is fundamental chapter, and it's also covered within around 2 to 5 questions, more than 2 to 5 questions. Yeah, these are basic chapters, so we have definitely covered these 3 chapters. And next, move on. As we move on to the score good marks, so I divided mathematics session in basically 3 parts. The first part covered trio. Trio is basically in trio we have to study trigonometric identities, trigonometric equations, and triangles, and inverse transformations. These 3 or 4 topics is very important, and cover around 20 questions, 20 plus questions. In the last year that in the last exams that I also appeared for this, around 25 questions is asked from single trio chapters. And there is some mixed questions. It cover a wide range. If we cover the trio chapter, then we click the written examinations, the cutoff is high. So trio is important. If we target 10 questions out of 20 in trio, then these 10 questions is very basic. You have to remember all this formula, then we can easily solve these 10 questions. And there is not too much concepts. And one more thing is important in the trio chapter. If you have clear idea how to solve that question, it requires less than 30 seconds to solve the answer. That is important. It also helps in resolve time. So trio chapters, if you prepared well in trio chapters, it is the first part. Okay, so cover it well, and let's say that you got 10 correct out of 20. So 10 in the first part. In the second part, I have two chapters, PC and probabilities. These are both most related chapters. If you wanted to cover probability without PC, it is impossible because you can't recall the concept. There are a lot of use of PC and communication, permutation and combinations. So they both chapters are linked together. So and if you combine this chapter, then it is around 50 to 70 questions. If you include aesthetics, then it is around 25 plus. So and there's not too much concept in this three chapter. So if we target 10 questions out of this 25 plus questions, then our part 2 is also completed by 10 questions. Okay? Now we have completed 20 questions and more required is 15 plus questions. My third part is geometry. Geometry contains straight line, not conic section. Conic section is too much lengthy. Yeah, less important. So then focus on conic section. Cover straight line, 2D, 3D, vector. These four chapters is just a formula based chapters and question is asked used a formula base. There's not too much thinking process required to solve these questions of geometry. So target this and minimum questions from this four chapter is around 7 to 8 from straight line and 2D, 5 and 5 from vector and 3D. So around 20, 50 to 20 questions. And if we attempt, these all are easy questions. So if we wanted to correct all this, we can. But let's conclude at our final result. We correct 10 out of 20. So we now attempt 30 questions. Friends, sorry for inconvenience because I'm sitting like you can see that I'm sitting like but I found that these were student comments, so I wanted to interested to make a video because recently I had also make a plan for me how I can cover mathematics section, how I have to give time on GT sessions. So I also interested to share some tips with him. So we are corrected 30 questions, and yeah, if we correct these 30 questions, we already have deducted. We already said in the three part the question is around 60 plus, but we have reduced it to 50%. We are capable of solving only 50% question. So these 30 questions we can solve easily, and friends, these 30 questions and plus the three basic different that we did, like quadratics, linear, and complex number. So it also contains more than 5 to 10 questions. So overall, we correct 35 to 40 questions with this three part and basic chapter. So this is the best chapters I advise you to cover because it is less time, and if you focus to cover whole chapter of calculus, it is not easy to cover. And yeah, one more thing is going to be interesting that if you cover set relations, because in the last year India has not asked a single question from set relations. So it is a gambling that if we focus on sets and relations only, then it may be that India asks in this term. So also I advise you to focus on that two chapter also. But this two chapter is very easy and less conceptual. So I advise you to solve this chapter also. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.